uh, envision a emerging world union. Human beings come together, not only politically and economically, but coming together spiritually as well in this movement. And the uh, the mother, under the influence of Sri Aurobindo, created World Union in 1958, and it became a political organization in India that was pushing for world union, world government. At the same time, 1958, in the United States, Philip Isley and other world federalists, people who believed in a world system, came together and faced the post World War II crisis, which was the possibility of nuclear holocaust between the Soviet Union and the United States, and the growing destruction of the environment that people were becoming aware of in the 1960s and 70s. And he organized a group called the World Constitution and Parliament Association, whose mission it was to solve these global crises through creating a constitution for the earth, a constitution for the Federation of Earth. And we're all familiar with this document. Uh, so they worked for many years. They had constituent assemblies in which they brought together citizens from around the world to identify what was necessary in a world constitution and to elect a drafting committee, which they did in 1968. And this drafting committee proceeded with interaction of world citizens from around the globe to produce, by 1991, three constituent assemblies later, they produced the final constitution for the Federation of Earth. They realized at that time that the Earth was in crisis, and here we are. Here we are, 40 years later. The Earth is in more crisis. It's very serious. And but they understood that the Earth had no future unless we unite under the principle of unity and diversity under an Earth Constitution. And they built into the Constitution, when it was finally ratified by this group, as the final document ready for the nations and people of Earth to examine and officially ratify. They built into it the capacity to begin world government here and now. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for the United States and Russia and China to come together and create a world government. We, the people of Earth, can do it here and now. And that's Article 19, the last article of this Earth Constitution. So they began to do this by establishing a provisional world parliament. The first session of the Provisional World Parliament was in 1982 in Brighton, England. The second session was here in New Delhi. It was actually originated at the Constitution Club, where the Constitution of India has been signed. And it's continued to the present. We just finished, as many of you know, the 16th session of the Provisional World Parliament in Pondicherry, December 7th through 10th of this year. And what they did at this parliament is revolutionary. At this session of parliament, they did three things that are crucial. The first is they announced, they decided, the parliament voted to hold a fifth constituent assembly, to have a movement to bring the people and nations of the world together to examine this document and to update it from 1991 to the present. There's all kinds of things that could be nuanced in the Constitution to make it very relevant to the early 21st century. So this is a project that has now been initiated by the Parliament. Secondly, they decided to make a permanent secretariat here in India to lead this movement, but also to give the provisional world government a continuity so that we don't have to wait 2 or 3 years for another session of the provisional world parliament. It now has a secretariat with a five-member presidium that will be directing the development of the Fifth Constituent Assembly, directing outreach, directing funding, and so on. Leopoldo Cook and myself are two members of this five-person presidium. We were elected just a couple of days ago for this role. Third, they took a World Legislative Act from number 6 from 1985, and it was updated to the present, edited so that it's very relevant to the present situation. And they reinitiated the Earth Emergency Rescue Administration, which allows for the nations and civic organizations to bring together a commission of 200 people from around the world with a steering committee. And those 200 people from around the world will be empowered to look at the collapse of the planetary environment, the horrible destruction of the planet that is being caused by sovereign nations, militarized sovereign nations, and by a global capitalism that is raping the environment and preventing human beings from creating an eco-sustainable system for the world. This Emergency Rescue Administration will have this task, and it will be an action organization, a spearhead organization to try to address the present planetary crisis. So that's where we are today, and it's possible, it's done. I just want to reiterate, because the Provisional World Parliament is an emerging world law institution. It's law that's emerging. It's world government that's emerging from the active work of people of Earth collaborating with one another under the principle of unity and diversity, guided by the laws that are already there in the Earth Constitution. So we're moving forward. We're editing the Earth Constitution, updating it, and we're taking action to address the planetary crisis, the environmental crisis. So that's where we are today, and we're here at the invitation of Chandra Vaikesh and our friend Pavel, who is originally from Russia, now lives in India, to address all kinds of issues of collaboration with other activists in this area, collaboration with people in Russia, and also the possibility that has been raised that the government of India could take the lead in proclaiming itself a host for the emerging world government. Given our legacy going back to Sri Aurobindo and our work with the World Union for the first 30 years of our organization, there's an element in Indian politics and culture which looks beyond sovereign nation state system to a world union, Vaishudaiva Kutumbakum, a world family. And so we're here to address that possibility. Here in Delhi, we could talk with people about how the Indian government can be a host for a movement that's emerging that could transform the world, not to a multipolar world system of militarized powers, Russia, China, India, South Africa, and Brazil's, the BRICS organization, but to a true world union where people are working together and looking and disarming the world, transforming the $2.7 trillion that is now wasted on militarism around the world, transforming that into something that benefits the welfare and the well-being of the people of Earth, ecologically, politically, economically. So I'll rest my case there.
The lunch is on its way, so you can clap louder.